So,
Did you start recording?
yeah, I did.
Okay.
So, what we're doing today is I'm with my lovely girlfriend,
Hello.
and we're going, or I guess rather, she, with the help of me, are going to rank Halo characters. Pretty much all of them. Like, even some of these characters I'm not fully aware of, like like Sadie and Sheeta. We'll get to her later in the video, or maybe even in the next part, depending on how long this gets. But in either case, uh, to start this off, uh, Maina, would you love to explain a little, like, how much in the Halo universe you actually like are aware of, like how much you do know?
I know they're halos. They're like worlds inside of a circle. And I know Master Chief. And I know Mr. Chief.
You know that those are separate things?
I do know that those are separate things.
Wow, okay. All right. That's actually really funny. Okay. So it kind of sounds like you're going to learn a lot today about Halo.
Probably.
Fair enough. All right. And I'm sure, just like with the treatment that I'm giving you with this video, we're probably going to do another video of something like Honkai characters
I'll make you rank
ranking.
Skyrim NPCs.
Oh my god. That's yeah, that'd be super interesting considering how little I even know about just the Elder Scrolls period. And I'm sure I'm probably gonna get flamed for that, but whatever. Anyways,
I'll make you rank Honkai and Genshin characters, and I'll put them in the same tier list, and you guess which one's from which.
I would have no fucking idea.
That's what makes it funny.
Oh my god. All right.
Throw in Honkai Impact 3rd characters into the mix.
Whatever. Okay. So, to start, we got Captain Keys. So
He's a captain F tier.
shut the hell up.
He's in charge of me? No, he's not.
Alright. No. We gotta explain him fully here. Captain Keys, he is the first superior officer you encounter in the Halo series. He was the captain of the Pillar of Autumn, which is the ship that escaped Reach. And I say that like you understand exactly what Reach is and who.
I understood the word ship.
The Pillar of Autumn is a very important ship in the Halo IP because it's also the first ship that's ever discovered a Halo. So Captain Keys is a very crucial character in the Halo story.
They're discoverable? I thought they were man-made.
You think that the Halos were man-made?
Yeah.
No.
I thought they were like humanity's last bastion or something.
No, they were created by the Forerunners thousands of years ago.
Oh, it's a Mass Effect thing.
They're artifacts.
Yeah, they're like the precursors.
Yes, humanity understands them as super weapons that were meant to cleanse the galaxy from an infection, and the Covenant see them as their path to salvation, aka the Great Journey.
C tier, C+.
C+, but you don't know them, but you like their vibe.
Yeah.
Okay, because so I'm gonna make this more your ranking than mine. Because like I know that these games very well. I will try my best with characters I don't know, but okay, so C+. We're gonna go ahead and go up to B tier just because you don't fully understand his importance as a character.
C's middle of the ground.
You also I don't think you also heard his voice. It's
Who's he voiced by?
Let
me look it up.
Okay.
He's voiced by Peter Stacker.
Mm-hmm.
He has an album called Real Men of Genius, Volume 1. Put him back at C tier.
Put him back at C.
No. Recently viewed artists, Lloyd. No. I don't recognize any of his other work.
He was also in Red Faction. Come on now.
I don't know Red Faction.
I do.
Okay. Cortana.
So
A tier.
so this is Cortana from Halo CE through 4. So I think that this tier list has recognized that there's a sheer difference between Cortana after Halo 4 and Cortana before Halo 4 and everything.
But why didn't they then include CE in the next one?
No, so the next one is Halo CE through Infinite. So we're thinking about Cortana from Halo CE to Halo 4, and then Cortana
as
from
a
Halo
whole.
CE throughout the rest of the game. Because, well, I guess I have to spoil a lot of stuff for you in order to understand this.
We'll play the games one day.
Okay, I'll at least just say this for the sake of story for you. Whatever rank you put Cortana from Halo CE to Halo 4 to, this Cortana will immediately be one rank lower.
What if I love Cortana? What if we play the games and we have to go back and change this to like put her one ranking above because I like
Not-
Cortana from Infinite or something? I don't know.
Oh, I didn't know you loved genocidal holocaustic people. People who
It
enjoy.
can be an interesting character.
She literally destroys planets after Halo 4.
Damn. Okay. Vibe check C+.
C plus for this one.
Yeah.
All right. I have a feeling you will really like her, but like I said, not okay. Not okay. All right. So for
The
this
Marines and troopers.
yeah.
Just
So
in
this is
general, the entire army.
so this is the backbone of the UNSC. So this is including orbital drop shock troopers and then Marines. So like when you play the game, these are like the extra guns that back you up when you play as Master Chief.
Do they have personality?
Oh hell yeah, their voice clips are hilarious.
B tier.
Yeah, they're great. They're great. Plus I literally have an ODST tattoo. I can't justify them anymore.
I was more meaning like if they, as long as they're like NPCs that have personality and aren't just silent guns that fight by your side.
Oh no,
they're going to be.
they're hilarious to fight with. The things that you can hear them say, oh, it's amazing. Okay. So we got Sergeant Johnson.
I've heard a lot of him.
He's a sergeant for the UNSC and he works a lot with Master Chief up until Halo 3 for reasons I won't explain to you.
Oh, he dies.
Yeah.
Sad death?
Kind of
Or like deserved.
It's a sad death.
B tier.
The Halo community misses him.
B.
He knows what the ladies like.
B plus.
There you go. All right, cool. Good old Jimmy Rings himself.
If no one is gonna go there, you should put him in A plus. He's
well,
the
if we're
face of
gonna-
Halo.
Well, Master Chief?
yeah, he's like middle of the road for any character. I feel for me, and like you have to go above and beyond for like S tier for me. And I doubt I'm gonna put anything there. Master Chief goes at the top.
Wait,
because
you're not gonna-
obviously I know him.
You're not gonna put anything in S tier?
We'll see.
But Master Chief isn't even S tier?
You want Master Chief S tier?
Well, I mean, I would, but like I said, this is your list.
I doubt I'm gonna put anything there. 'Cause,
Okay.
yeah.
All right, we'll put him in A plus. Good old John Halo. All right, so there we have the elites as a species. So the Sangheili, the four-jawed tall elite boys.
I like aliens a lot. And like aliens designs are cool. And the Halo alien designs are also cool. Not on par with Mass Effect in my opinion. I think Mass Effect has a more diverse alien collection, even though they are all mostly humanoids, which kind of annoys me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put the elites at A tier.
A tier?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just because I like their design a lot.
They're a really cool design. And then we have the grunts.
Grunts.
I believe these are the species name for these are the Kigyar. They're like the little
They kind of. I know it's just a small ass picture, but they look like Rex.
I mean, they kind of have some design like Rex where they have the large backs,
Yeah.
but they're like tiny and they're also very wimpy.
Oh, they're goblins.
Yeah, a little bit.
They're like goblins.
Yeah.
Or skeletons in Skyrim.
I
They're the easy to kill characters.
Yeah, and they like what happens is they're kind of like the backbone of like there's like trillions and trillions of them. So whenever so they go out with like squads of like 10 or 20 and it's got like an elite as the head. And whenever you kill the elite that's in the squad, they kind of just run and scatter and start screaming like elite is dead. Run for it.
That's funny. Got moved up in here.
They're pretty funny characters, and in every Halo game you can find a grunt just as like an Easter egg doing random weird stuff.
Oh,
Well,
so like the psychos. How the psychos just kind of do whatever the fuck they want in the background.
a little bit like in Halo 5 you find a grunt that like is having a conversation with an elite that obviously isn't paying attention to him at all.
I like in I think it's Borderlands 2. We haven't seen this character yet in our playthrough.
Mm.
There's a character called Shooty McShootface,
I've heard of him.
and Shooty McShootface is like the most beloved character because his side quest is literally like him just going, "Hey, you should shoot me in the face.
Yes, I have heard this guy before, yeah.
Shoot me in the face right here."
Okay, so now the jackals. These are the like raptor looking guys with the shields.
Shielders.
They're
Sounds annoying.
they are annoying to fight as enemies and also they're very I would personally say they're very evil as a species.
Well, I like raptor looking characters.
Yeah.
Garrus, for instance. He's more bug, but, backwards legs and stuff like that. Shielders reminds me a lot of my currently dead playthrough of Yakuza 3. So I'm putting him at B tier, and he's not moving from there.
B tier? Okay.
And he's only up there because I like design.
Okay. That's fair. And then we got good old Foehammer. So Foehammer is like a very fan favorited character in the community.
For like, what reason?
They're they're reliable.
Okay.
Like in the first they're only known in the first game because they die in the first game, but they're one of the survivors from the Pillar of Autumn that crashes on the ring with you. And you guys help develop like a resistance to fight the Covenant on the ring. So Foehammer becomes really reliant on you and you on Foehammer because like, you know, they're your air support.
Yeah, put him up at B plus with Johnson.
Her.
I said them. I didn't misgender them.
Well, I wanted to be more specific about that too because she's like very sassy.
Perfect. They're Joker.
Oh my god, her and Cortana quipping with each other, it's amazing. Roger Foehammer. I got you, Cortana.
So they're the pilot comic relief character that is commonly seen off screen more than not.
You never see their face really.
Okay, so they're like Joker from Mass Effect.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Because
yeah.
a lot of Joker's comedy happens when he's not on the screen.
Yeah, that's a very good comparison.
And
yeah.
I like Joker. A plus. A tier.
A tier? Okay. I can hard agree with you.
I just realized how much I'm comparing this to other games.
Well, I mean, what else do you really have to go off of? And one of these
Exactly.
days we will play through the Halo games together. Maybe we'll even do a series where you play Halo CE and I watch you because I know that would be amazing.
We could do it.
Well, I mean, you do like horror games that aren't meant to be horror games.
It's true.
Halo CE is a horror game that's not meant to be a horror game.
I just like horror games.
You like CE. I think we'll do it. Anyways, so we have Sergeant Stacker. So he's another like fan favorited character in the community. He has a lot of like very quippy lines. You don't really even have like any cutscenes with him or anything like that, but you recognize him because he has a very like, "All right, boys, get your shit together and let's go." Like Sarge from Red vs. Blue per se.
Yeah, or
He like if
the tutorial general during Helldivers.
Yeah. Yeah. He's very like, "All right, boys, let's get to it. On your feet now." I would say he's in the same category as the Marines and Troopers. He's just a little bit more unique because he's like the sergeant of the Marines and Troopers.
Sure, but I'm at B plus.
B plus? Okay. And then we have the Hunters. So these are the big brutish guys, not the monkey ape people, but like the big alien bug like worm concoction. They're like orange and blue. Let me bring up an image of them.
I was just about to do that.
Um,
Holland staring directly into my soul.
Come on now. These are hunters. These guys.
Oh, they're pretty cool looking.
Yeah, all of this little stuff exposed right here.
Is skin?
No, those are worms.
Hate it. F tier.
F tier. You don't like the big wormy boys?
No. In Delicious in the Dungeon, there's this episode where this guy really wants to try to eat. Hold on.
Okay.
Don't say anything yet.
Okay,
This guy
no, go
really
ahead.
wants to try to eat the fighting suits of armor.
Mm-hmm.
Except everyone thinks that they're controlled by mages, and they're just suits of armor, so he's not going to be able to eat them. And then he finds out that they're actually colonies of mollusks that form together in order to form human-like muscles to fight. And it gives me a lot of the same vibes as that.
I see.
And the body horror of it doesn't work well with me.
Okay, well, considering the fact that you've only seen them and you haven't encountered them, like you can enjoy
Design-wise,
you can enjoy an enemy for an enemy.
Oh,
right?
absolutely.
So, for the sake of them, because they don't deserve to be F tier, I will at least put them at D plus. I don't know them, but I dislike their vibe. That sounds very accurate for what you're saying.
The Flood? Put them with it. Put it with it.
With the hunters?
Yeah.
Okay.
It make the Flood, I've seen it before. It feels very much like the cordyceps from Last of Us.
Okay.
And again, body horror thing. I hate the cordyceps from Last of Us.
Okay.
It makes me feel so viscerally uncomfortable.
Well, I mean, I think that was kind of the idea with them.
Well, yes, but I can dislike that.
No, of course, of course. Okay.
I can recognize, body horror means body horror and it has its place and it's supposed to make me uncomfortable. But it makes me uncomfortable and I don't like it.
Okay. That's fair enough. So now we have the Sentinels. So these are like the generic robots on the Halo rings that like protect the ring from the Flood and anybody that tries to destroy it. So they're like the random generic enemies on the Forerunner side, technically.
C tier.
C tier. And then there's Guilty Spark. He is the like monitor on the first Halo ring, and like he's in charge of like taking care of it, maintaining it, making sure it's prepped and ready for whenever somebody's ready to fire it or wanting to fire it or use it.
Let me assume they're like an AI that has survived for thousands of years and they kind of have a lot of wisdom to say.
Yeah.
So they're the precursor AI in Mass Effect at the end of Mass Effect 1.
Kind of, but the only different thing about them is that they kidnap you a lot.
The precursors do that.
Oh, do they?
Not the precursor AI. In the second Mass Effect game, spoilers for anyone who has not played the second Mass Effect game, it came out 14 years ago.
Anyways.
The precursors got kidnapped by the Reapers and were genetically modified to be the collectors that kidnap everyone at the beginning of Mass Effect 2.
I see.
So, that's kind of funny.
Okay.
Especially since this is a precursor AI. So it's,
Yeah, it pretty much is.
Guilty Spark, put them C+.
C+, okay.
I liked that AI from Mass Effect.
And then there's the Arbiter, Thel Vidam. He's the,
Is every Arbiter played by Keith Davids?
No.
Okay.
No, the Arbiter is a title that's given to elites after a certain
Okay.
point in time.
So which Arbiter is played by Keith Davidson?
He's the most recent Arbiter before the Great Split, the Great
Okay.
Schism.
Wait, which one is that?
It's for him right here.
A tier.
I'll agree with you.
I like Keith Davidson.
Well, also just to give you a little spoilers, later on in the games, by Halo 5, he's the leader of the Sangheli on Sanghelios.
Okay.
He's getting rid of any Covenant remnants that are on their home planet after the Great Schism.
Cool.
Yeah. He's the leader of the Swords of Sanghelios, which is like the Sangheli.
I'm gonna do you a favor here. You seem to be having a lot of
Sure.
issues moving your mouse.
Whatever. It's fine. Okay. So now we're on to the prophets. So these guys are the high council, the great leaders in charge of the covenant.
Okay.
So
they're the bad guys.
yeah, so we have truth, mercy, and regret. Truth is like the main bad guy. Mercy and regret are just like the other two in the
Trio.
council.
Yeah.
Yeah, and as a matter of fact, you actually kill regret yourself in the game.
He dies by your hand.
Yeah, you kill
Stormcloak and Skyrim C+.
Okay. We'll do regret as C+, and then mercy he dies in a cutscene.
Loser C tier.
And then truth, you have to fight to get up to him, and then the cutscene plays of your characters killing him.
That's boring. Let me fight truth.
Well, he wasn't really in a place to be fought because, like, well, I don't want to spoil too much for you. He wasn't in a position to fight.
Put him with regret.
With regret, okay. So now we're on to Tartarus. Tartarus. He was the first brute chieftain in charge of the big ape alien people when they first joined the Covenant.
I like the name. It doesn't seem to have anything to do with the Greek connotation of Tartarus.
Well, if it has anything to do with anything else, he's kind of like the enforcer that helps the Covenant betray the elites, which is what causes the Great Schism.
Tartarus in Greek mythology is the first layer of Hades, and it's supposed to be an endless maze, pretty much.
Well, I mean, Tartarus does basically help you go on fool's errands, essentially.
Sure, C+.
C+.
I like the name Tartarus.
He also is he's a pretty cool character, and then he's also the final boss in Halo 2.
Sounds good to me. I like the name Tartarus. They use it in Persona.
Yeah. And then there's the brutes. They're like Tartarus, they're just his species.
C tier.
Okay.
I feel like Tartarus has to be above them in some way.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's their chieftain.
That guy has been staring daggers at me like he's the soldier from TF2.
This guy?
I already hate him.
So, this is Lord Hood. He's essentially the highest military commander you see in game. He's the one that's in charge of like the attack and the defense on Earth when the Covenant show up and everything like that. He's also voiced by the same guy that plays Hellboy.
Oh. Cooler.
He's the guy that's made like the famous quotes of like, Master Chief, defend this station. Or it's like, permission to leave this station, sir. For what purpose, Master Chief?
Hold on. I'm desperately trying to pull up a specific character and I can't remember the name of them.
Yeah, you're thinking of Soldier, right?
The engineer, I think, maybe?
Yeah, that's the engineer.
TF2 engineer.
I can kind of see it.
Without the smile.
Yeah, I can kind of see it.
Anyway, because he threw off my vibe check, he goes to D+.
D plus. All right. Okay.
Look at him.
And then now we're on to Commander Keyes.
Is this not Captain Keyes?
No, this is Captain Keyes' daughter,
Okay.
who also joined the military.
I like a good commander.
She's the one that helps stop the Halo rings from firing in Halo 2 and 3.
And they're useful. B tier.
B tier.
Right alongside her dad.
Okay. And then we have the drones. They are the Covenant's, like, bug soldiers. Imagine, like, a beetle with wings, and then it's the size of a person and can shoot a gun.
Are they stealth based?
No.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, they're like a giant hive mind. So whenever you see any drones, you see them en masse.
And they all see you.
Yeah. I hate them with a passion. They're disgusting.
Hive mind, C plus.
Yeah, and it's actually if you go to like the Halo wiki, the drones are actually controlled by like a hive mind.
That's cool.
They actually have like a queen.
I like a good hive mind.
Yeah. And then
the Scarab.
The Scarab, specifically from New Mombasa. So the Scarabs in general are a Covenant vehicle. They're the giant
They're
like
a ship.
Yeah, they're like a giant like tank. They're like the size of
soldier transport.
Do you know about like the ATTs from Star Wars, the big like camel walkers?
Yeah, I thought those were soldier transport.
Yeah, they are essentially soldier transports. Just basically imagine that, but like a Covenant version of it. I think it's specifically mentioning the New Mombasa one because this is the first time we ever see a Scarab.
Mm.
But the thing that's also really interesting about the Scarab is that they're fueled by the same worms that hunters are fueled with. So that's like actually like a living creature.
I think purely because they're ships and not characters.
Mm-hmm.
And also, you brought back the worms from the hunters. D tier.
Okay. All right. I will put
the Scarabs there, too.
Yeah, I'll put the Scarabs in general there as well. All right. So now we're on to Shipmaster Halfjaw.
He looks beefy.
He's a very cool character, in my opinion. He's one of the very few characters you see with, like, real battle damage on him that's an elite. Because, like, you know how the elites have, like, 4 tendrils as jaws, right?
Mm-hmm.
This guy is missing one from battle.
Dope. Right, reminds me of Garrus.
Yeah.
Get put up at B+.
B+? Okay, cool. I like him as a character, too. I think once you start playing the games, you'll like him as well. And now here's the heretic leader. So, like you know how I mentioned with the Arbiter, how they send him on fool's errands?
Uh-huh.
One of the fool's errands is to kill this guy.
Oh, so he's a nothing boss at, like, the beginning of the games?
It's kind of like, here's this mission to, like, test your worth, test your faith, test your loyalty.
He's the first boss in any Borderlands game.
I suppose, yeah, I suppose.
Yeah.
He finds a machine similar to Guilty Spark, like the ball robots, and he tells them all about, like, what the Halo rings actually are and what they do, and he starts...
So he's also a lore dump.
Yeah, and he also, like, well, he tries to, like, spread the information around because, like, you know, the Great Journey is essentially a fucking lie.
Yeah.
So the High Council send their Arbiter to kill him because, you know, he's saying shit that he shouldn't be saying.
Oh.
He's an interesting boss to fight as well. I will give him that. You guys would be able to see his how his boss fight works with my Halo 2 Uncut playthrough. Links to that.
B tier.
B tier. And then okay, so I don't know why this is okay. So now we have the ODSTs in as a faction, the Orbital Drop Shock Troopers. Even though they already gave us the troopers in the Marines and Troopers, but I guess now we're going to get more specific and say the ODSTs.
Okay, so I have to know more about their organization then?
So the point of ODSTs as Orbital Drop Shock Troopers is they're essentially the soldiers that the UNSC sends to to drop behind enemy lines to flank in case that, the attention needs to be drawn away from the front line, or if stealth operations need to take place, or if there's things like VIP assassinations that need to happen. ODSTs are kind of like the special operations Marines to get it done.
Oh my god, I almost made this exactly symmetrical.
Yeah, you almost have.
I'm not putting them up at an A plus tier though. I'm not continuing that.
I would say, well, the sad thing about it, love, is that I would say they are A plus material if they're not
You
going to
have
be
a
S.
tattoo of them.
Yeah,
You know what? I'll take your word for it because you have a tattoo of them.
I love the ODSTs. There's an entire game dedicated to them.
I like biting your tattoo, so A plus. Anyway, the Enforcer Sentinels.
Yeah. So these guys are basically like the Sentinels. Where are they in this whole fucking thing? Yeah, they're essentially like the big bulky enemy versions for this faction.
More tanky.
Yeah.
Worse. D plus.
E plus. Okay. And then we have the Gravemind as a whole. So the Gravemind is essentially like the Flood hive mind.
Interesting. I'll put them above the Flood. Right at C.
Right at C. Okay. And then
God
we have
damn it.
Penitent Tangent. That's another one of the installation monitors.
Is he worse or better?
I'm trying to remember who Penitent Tangent is. Oh, I believe it's the monitor that the heretic leader finds and talks to. So he's the one that the heretic leader gets all the information about the Halo rings from.
C.
C tier.
I feel like we've spent a long time on this video already.
What are we at right now? We're at 32 minutes. Not too bad.
Not too bad.
So now we're in Inthro Sarum. Oh yeah, there's quite a bit. There's quite a bit.
Hey, you see Mr. Chief there?
Yep.
Put him next to Master Chief.
You want to put him all the way out there
Yep.
already? Fair enough. Put him next to Master Chief.
No, but the Captain Keyes' daughter doesn't get to stand next to him.
There you go. Okay. Well, if we're gonna do that as well, then we might as well put all the elites together, since they're in the same tier. Okay, so we have Inthro Sarum, which is the third player that, like, if you're playing with 3 people in the Halo 3 campaign, this would be the third player character model. And then this guy, in turn, would be the 4th player character model.
Who's the second?
The Arbiter.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, in the first Halo 2, in the first Halo 2 game, I say that like that's the first. In Halo 2, you get to play as the Arbiter, but there are just certain missions where you play as the Arbiter. But when it comes to Halo 3, the Arbiter is in the entire game with Master Chief. So he's either just alongside with everything that's happening in the story, or if you're playing with 2 people, it's quite literally Master Chief and the Arbiter going through the events of Halo 3.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. I'd put them C tier.
C tier?
Because I'm guessing they don't have their own personalities.
You do get to explore more of their personalities and like it sucks living in the city. Anyways, you do actually get to explore a little bit about their personalities in like comics and more than just the games. So Mendicant Bias here is a really cool character. So, like the other monitors like Guilty Spark and Penitent Tangent, they were the monitors for very specific Halo rings.
Yeah.
Mendicant Bias is the monitor for the Halo ring and Halo Infinite. The Halo ring that technically shouldn't exist.
How do you feel about them?
He's awesome.
Okay, B plus.
He's actually a secret. He's actually a part of the secret ending in the Halo Infinite Legendary ending.
Okay.
So if we ever hopefully get any more Halo Infinite story in the next, couple years, hopefully it'll include more of like what's going on with Mendicant Bias.
Yeah.
Because we never actually saw him in game. He's just announced that he's on the ring.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm guessing these next three are also from Halo Infinite? Question mark.
No. These two are actually from Halo 4. And then this guy, I actually don't even know who he is. Offensive
I don't know,
Bias?
but he looks like a goat, so put him up with Mendicant. He looks like a goat facing head on.
Okay. We'll put Offensive Bias and Mendicant Bias. And then we have the Librarian, which is like the conservationalist for the Forerunners before their species went extinct. She essentially helped Master Chief become the catalyst for what needed to happen in the rest of the series.
You're trying so hard not to spoil this stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know, helps Master Chief and
She's important to the story.
And the Librarian. That's such a fucking cool name. B tier.
B tier. And then there's the Isodidact, which is like a Forerunner commander. He's got cool armor.
Cool armor. Cool. B tier.
B tier as well. Okay. And then we have Captain Cutter. So Captain Cutter is the captain of the Spirit of Fire, which is the main ship that you encounter and interact with in the Halo Wars games, which is like a top-down commander perspective type game.
Yeah, you've told me it's like Dungeons 4.
Yeah, it's very different from like the other Halo games, which is like an FPS.
Yeah.
But with Halo Wars,
this is the real-time strategy.
Yeah, you're in charge of units, you're making materials, you're setting up bases. It's really cool. And then, on top of that, he's a very interesting commander that's in charge of a very unique ship.
B.
B tier. Okay. And then we have Serena, which I believe is the Spirit of Fire's AI during Halo Wars.
Put him with Cutter.
Okay. And then here we have Sergeant Forge, which is essentially like, you know how Captain Keyes was in charge of the Pillar of Autumn?
Mm-hmm.
Sergeant Johnson was like his acting sergeant.
Mm-hmm.
For Captain Cutter, who's like the equivalent of Captain Keyes, Sergeant Forge is the equivalent of Sergeant Johnson for the Spirit of Fire.
Cool. C+.
All right. And then there's Professor Anders.
Captain Mr. Anderson. C+.
Yeah. They're just a civilian scientist. They're story relevant for the game. There's another Arbiter, Ravi. That question you were asking about if the Arbiter was more than one person. Well, we actually do get to encounter more than one Arbiter in the series.
Cool. Anything about them specifically?
You don't get to play as him, and he is very deadly.
C+.
Alice 130. So these three right here, Alice, Douglas, and Jerome, are Spartan Red Team. They are the three Spartans that Captain Cutter has on the Spirit of Fire, because Captain Keyes had Master Chief.
Put Alice at C tier and the next two at D tier D plus for no specific reason. I like Alice's name. I'll be honest.
A little sexist.
I like the name Alice is always really nice.
Jerome is one of the coolest Spartans in the entire series.
Fine, put him at C tier.
They all deserve C tier. That's Spartan Red Team. You'll see when you play the game. I think you would really like Halo Wars.
Hellbringers. It's a cool name.
The Hellbringers. So, I'm gonna be honest. I don't know who these are.
D plus.
All right. The Engineers. So the Engineers here are like, they're not exactly like enemies that you fight in the games, but they do like work for the Covenant.
Aliens or robots?
They're a mix of both. Like, they're the aliens that are in charge of a lot of the technology the Covenant use.
So if I'm comparing this to the Council in Mass Effect,
Yeah.
they're like the Solarians.
Yes. Wait, what are the Solarians again? Which ones?
They're the ones that have the 3 fingers, and they have the big bulbous heads.
No, they're not the same thing because also these guys don't talk. You remember in like the first Mass Effect games,
The brain? Are they like the little brain guys in Mass Effect that like hover around and tell you about their religion?
Yeah, a little bit, and then think about that, but they have the responsibilities of like those big, robust guys that were on consoles all the time. Essentially, like that. They help manufacture like weapons, and they help the Covenant with like controlling ships and data. There are a lot of times like pilots and stuff like that, and very, very rarely they're used in combat roles.
C+. I like the idea, and I just realized how many references I'm making is going to make your editing job a lot harder.
Not really. I'm just going to have to get a lot of images ready.
Yeah. You throw up an image of a Solarian, and you're like... Ah.
Not at all. Because I'm going to put an engineer up, and then I'm going to put a Solarian next up, and then you're going to see this video and go, what the fuck? Anyways, so we have Brute Chieftain from Halo Wars. So this is just in general like a Chieftain Brute. They're like well, as it says, the chiefs in the Banished.
T+.
D+. Alright. We got the Rookie. So now we're getting into the Halo 3 ODST squad.
Uh-huh.
So this is the ODST squad that drops... These are the people that you see and play with and play as during the events of Halo 3 ODST. The Rookie is the character you play as the most.
I would guess so.
Yeah.
Because...
I mean, he's kind of, on the box art.
Yeah, and he's the wallpaper you had on your dash for forever.
Anyways.
C+ for the Rookie.
He dies in a stupid way.
Ah, like soap.
Not even like that. He dies in a book.
Trying to think of a character that I can make a reference to that too. It's just...
Anyways, so now we're on to Mickey. He's like the demolitions expert in this squad.
Is he funny?
Yes.
Put him with the Rookie. They like to make out on Wednesdays.
Now we got Dutch. He's like the other demolitions expert. This squad has a lot of people that like explosives.
Same. Is he funny?
Dutch and Mickey together are quite a comedic duo.
You can't separate them then.
Next we got Romeo. He's like their sniper.
Does he flirt a lot?
Well, I mean, that's why he's called Romeo.
Oh, that's a nickname for him?
Yeah.
C+.
C+. And then we got Buck. You know who Buck is.
Do I?
He's he's Nate Fillion.
Oh! B. I love Nathan Fillion.
Yeah. And then we have Captain Veronica. She's an ONI agent. It's the Office of Naval Intelligence, so she's like the spy and all this. I have information I need to find, but I can't tell you what I'm looking for kind of character.
See. You're in a team, be truthful.
Yeah.
Don't give me Graves vibes.
Well, yeah, and it's even more worse. It's like this drop went to hell, nobody can find each other, and you're still just like, this information's classified. It's like, lady, we all almost died!
I can't stand that.
And then we have the Data Hive officers. So I think they specifically added this type of character into the list because this was the first and only time ever in Halo that we've seen law enforcement.
Cops!
Yeah, this is a cop.
D.
Sandwich him right between the scarabs.
He deserves it.
So next up we have Virgil. So Virgil is a very interesting character because Virgil is an engineer. The reason why Virgil is a named character like this is because, well, to sort of spoil the plot of Halo 3 ODST, the mission that Captain Veronica is up to, it's like classified, I can't tell you what it is to find this guy.
B tier, right above the engineers. I feel like any specifically named character, unless I hate them, will go above their species.
He's a neat character. By the end of the game, there's a scene where he lights a cigar for Johnson. Because it's like, so you want to help us out, huh? And he puts a cigar in his mouth, and the engineer just kind of like has a lighter somehow, and just like lights it and flicks it, and then lights it, and lights his cigar. Johnson's like, we're gonna get along just fine.
They are like the little brain guys in Mass Effect.
They're neat. They're neat little creatures. So Sadie and Sheeta, if I remember correctly,
is different from Dr. Nshida?
So this is the daughter of Dr. Nshida.
Okay.
And the reason why I believe if I'm correct, these characters are only ever explained in audio logs, because during the events of Halo 3 ODST, you're roaming the streets of New Mombasa after the events of Halo 2, when the Covenant have invaded and everything went to hell. So this is quite literally like, you get to discover the story of what happened to Dr. Nshida and Sadie, because of, like, everything's going to hell. Everyone's trying to evacuate. People are trying to gather their things. Sadie's trying to find her dad. Her dad's trying to find Sadie. Things aren't being explained. What's going on?
They're the side plot in a Godzilla movie.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. But they're only restricted to audio logs. That is one of the most perfect ways I've ever heard that side plot explained. Because literally it's just like, where's my dad? Where's my daughter? Guys, we're all gonna fucking die.
Yeah, no, they're the human plot in any Godzilla movie.
Yes, quite literally.
C+.
Okay, cool. For both of them?
Yeah. What, you're gonna make me separate the dad and the daughter?
Okay, so I think if we're gonna do that, I think all three of these characters are a part of that plot.
His name's Kebab Man. Put him up there.
Commander Krishner and Mike Branley. Now, we're on to Noble Team, which is the Spartan team you are a part of during the events of Halo Reach. So we have Carter, Noble 1, Kat, Noble 2, June, who's Noble 3, Emil, Noble 4, George, who's Noble 5, and your character that you play as, Noble 6. And then you have Commander Holland, who's Noble Actual.
Put all of the Noble characters except for 6 at C tier, and put Noble 6 at C+, because you play them. And Holland has been staring at me this entire time.
That's the only aspect that we ever see Commander Holland's face.
You got it. You separated him.
I will. I'll fix it.
Now they're out of order.
Shut up. I'm fixing it.
Noble Actual, yeah. Put him down at D+.
D+.
He's been, look at him.
Okay, fine.
Look, he's staring daggers into my soul.
Okay, so Aunt Dot is the like AI essentially that you interact with during the events of Halo Reach.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like not as smart as a Cortana AI.
Yeah. Sorry, pulling that up for a minute.
Okay.
So they're an AI, but not as, so like they're a VI rather than an AI.
Well, like they don't exactly have very much of a personality, but they like have a voice.
They're a virtual intelligence.
Yeah.
As Mass Effect would say.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because I don't know, Mass Effect draws like a very good distinction between virtual intelligence and artificial intelligences.
Well, like, you've seen me play Halo Infinite and all that. You know about, like, Fret and all of them, like, my personal AIs that I use in multiplayer.
Mm-hmm.
You know how they're, like, a little dumbed down from Cortana?
Yeah.
I would put Antidot on the same level as, like, Butler or Cirque or Fret. Like, I would say that they are useful and they're essential to helping a Spartan succeed, but they're not as intelligent as Cortana.
But does Antidot, like, talk to you often in the game, or is it
Yeah,
one-off?
they give you essential battlefield data and information, and they're like a voice you hear sometimes at the start of a mission to kind of tell you like what the mission is.
C+.
Okay.
Anyway, the Moa look like the Chocobos from Final Fantasy.
Yeah, so the Moa are a native species on the planet Reach. Um, they're funny little animals. And as a matter of fact, in the universe, they're actually
Oh, that's a real
Birded?
bird.
search up Halo Reach Moa.
Well, yeah, but look, it's a real bird. That's cool. Or was.
Yep, those are the Moa.
Ah, they're ancient chocobos. I like them.
Yeah, they're funny little animals.
I like the funny little animals. Put them in B tier.
Okay. Well, they're not little. They're like the size of ostriches.
They're funny little animals.
So next up, we have the skirmishers, which are essentially a subspecies of the jackals. They're kind of like more confident in the aspect of like their combat. They don't use shields.
Where did I put
The jackals, they are right here.
put them above the jackals?
I'd agree with that. I think they're a little cooler than the regular jackals.
Because they're not shielding bitches.
And then we have Sarah Sorvad, who is literally a civilian you find in Halo Reach who you have 2 cutscenes with, and that's about it. You never see her again.
D+.
And then we're on to the Field Marshal, which for some reason is in this as a character, but the Field Marshal is actually like a rank of elite in the Covenant. And they kind of like hunt down things for the Covenant.
Incorrect naming on the tier list D.
Yeah, like I don't get why this is even here.
Dr. Hazley.
Yeah, we got Dr. Halsey, who invented the Spartan 2s and Spartan 3s. Like everyone like all of these people, all of the Spartans basically like call her mom.
C+.
She abducted children for this. Master Chief was like
D+.
9 years old when she took him.
F.
But she made Master Chief
F.
and Cortana. Cortana is essentially just
You're not
Dr.
saving this
Halsey.
character.
Well, I'm just explaining to you. Cortana is essentially just Dr. Halsey's brain as an artificial intelligence.
Interesting.
Yeah. And then we have the Gouda, which is another native species on the planet of Reach. And as a matter of fact, the Moa are actually the Gouda's prey.
Below the Moa.
Below the Moa. You don't know them, but you like their vibe.
Yeah.
They're
Look at them.
well, they're also an enemy you can fight in the game too.
Yeah, they look at like big fucking guys from.
Oh, damn, we still got quite a bit.
Yeah, that's why I'm trying to hurry this up.
Hold
they
on a
look like
second,
the
where are
big
we at?
guys from Fallout 4.
You know what? Why don't we go ahead and end it here for now? We're
I'm
gonna
hungry.
yeah, let's go ahead and separate this into a second part, and then we'll come back and finish the rest of this. But how are you liking the list so far? Where are you at? Are you pretty happy with where you are right now with this?
I have a feeling I'm gonna make quite a few people mad, and that inspires me.
I think it's gonna be hilarious, the reactions.
I can't wait for your best friend Duncan to see this, and then for him to shit all over my rankings.
I would say it's
He's gonna do that.
yeah, he will.